Hey gang, Kevin here, Life22, and it is June 1st, 2026. We are on time. We're on time. We're not late this month. As my late father would say, if no one were late, none of us would be here. So, with that said, I want to know how your mental health May went. How was the month of May for you? How was your mental health? Did you try something new? Did you do a new exercise to kind of give you peace of mind? Did you work on your mental health? How did you work on your mental health? Please let us know in the comments. You can share them privately through messages, through our email. I'm trying to think, there's a ton of other ways to get in touch with us. We promote you to be open and, be honest and tell us what your thoughts are. So, with that said, today, I just keep overusing that phrase, but today is June 1st, and this is October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Yes, so we haven't completed June, right. So, 8 months. 8 solid months sobriety here. So, not a drop of alcohol. I'm doing good. I think this is the longest I've been. Prior to the age of 9. But that said, there it is again, right? See, Kevin, you're overdoing phrases. Anyways, there's a mental health thing for me to work on. But our mental health May gets us into a good theme for this month, right? And we're calling this month's theme June Bloom, okay? And we want, just like all the flowers are blooming and looking beautiful and soaking up the sun, we want you to do well and soak up the sun. And we want you to, build some solid foundation, spread your roots, grow strong, right? So we're really kicking off this June with just getting you better, getting me better, getting all of us better, right? So mental health May is essentially folding into June Bloom. And so if you've been working on your mental health for the month of May, then you should be better prepared to start kind of expanding on things that you worked on during May. And you should also be able to, be cognizant of some of the things that you do that might be a little picadillos to other people around you, things that you can work on as an individual. You can pick something small, or you can drastically renovate the house that is you, right? So, and sometimes it also has to do with dealing with external factors, right? A lot of mental health is from stimuli in our environment, right? So, maybe you've got, an issue with your spouse you have to deal with. Maybe you have a really terrible boss. Maybe you have, a bad coworker or a neighbor that's a jerk or whatever, that you have to just. The only way that you're going to change the world is if you start in here, right? You start in you and then move outwards. You have to make corrections with you first, because it's the only thing you really have the ultimate control over. You can control others, but it's a lot harder. So it's easier to start by controlling yourself, which is a lot harder than most people think. They're like, it's just me. I'll just tell myself to not drink for 8 months, right? It's difficult. It's not just easy. Not everybody has the willpower of Kevin. And even me, I'm just the weather's so nice. I want to grab a cigar and go smoke a good beer drinking cigar. And what do you need with a beer drinking cigar? You need a beer. And so, you try a near beer, you know what I mean? You do an NA, right? And you gotta look through them, and to be really holistic about it, you gotta pick one that has 0% alcohol. Everything has some degree of particulates, right? But for a noticeable degree, right? You've got to be cognizant, right? So it's one of those things. But it's always easier to start with you than it is to just control others, unless you're Doris Roberts, the Marie Barones of the world, right? Where you can it's really easy just to guilt the shit out of people. But so I want you to work on your mental health. I I want you to work and expand it. I want you to do June Bloom. And this month, we're actually starting something new where we're doing weekly challenges for it. So the first week, I'm challenging everybody to work on habits and hydration. So you need to remind yourself. So going back to some of our Fit February stuff where we actually work on our personal fitness, we work on making sure that our body is healthy, not just our mind, right? So, but in order to do that, especially during the month of June, and to bloom properly, we need good hydration methods, right? So like not just the fact that you're drinking more water, but do you have good habits that incorporate drinking water on a regular basis? Maybe you want to also study the quality of the water that you're consuming. Are you just letting, whatever comes out of the tap go down your gullet, like go down into your gullet? You're just guzzling it down, right? Like that's, the government adds a lot of fluoride to stuff. I don't know if you're like me and you just don't trust the government adding stuff that like Hitler thought was cool to add to water. Like, oh, it just sedates the people. That's nothing wrong with it, Keep an eye on your water. Drink good water. Maybe you want to cut out microplastics, which a lot of that is consumed through water because we're putting them in plastic water bottles. So a lot of those things, but also making sure that you are well hydrated. Well hydrated is a great thing to be. And then working on those habits. Working on those habits, getting up early, putting that cigarette down. Like, if I don't hold my lighter, I won't smoke that cigarette. Boom, building good, healthy habits. And that's what I challenge you this week to do. So if you would let us know in the comments below what habits you're taking on and which ones, and maybe at the end of the week you tell us which ones, hey, maybe I tried. You tell me at the end of the week what you tried and did it work? Were you successful in it? Do you want to push that an additional week? But we'll be ready next week for another challenge. So I also don't want you to try not to pick habits that you're changing in your June Bloom to work on you, right? Like you are trying to make yourself better. But that does not also mean to like allow other people to just let you satiate the problem, right? Like if you have, a really shitty neighbor or a terrible boss, like don't just like give in to them. Don't kowtow to them just because you're like, well, I can solve the problem and all the anxiety if I just let them do what they will. No, like all you're doing is feeding the dragon at that point. You are feeding the problem that you do not want to address. And part of your mental health is to be able to make your way through it and say, hey, no, I have a problem here. I have a dragon. I must slay that dragon, that problem. I must solve it. In order to solve it, I have to address it head on. You slay the dragon, you win the gold. The gold is the thing you're trying to achieve. It is your goal, right? Everyone wants gold. The dragon has the gold. Maybe he doesn't possess the gold, but he is protecting it. Sure as shit, behind that dragon is gold. And you're going to go do it. You're going to go out there and you're not going to let people walk all over you. You're not going to be a little pushover. Maybe you are the one that's pushing people around. Like maybe you need to. And there's an example of maybe you satiating other people and be like, you know what, maybe I'm just not going to be a jerk off to this person today. But don't let people bully you. Don't let people push you around. You need to draw strength from good, healthy, hydrated roots with good habits, taking in certain amounts of sunshine, not taking in too much sunshine, not drinking too much water, but making sure that you're hydrated. Most people are always dehydrated, so we should do a lot of that. Man, I miss this. I miss one-on-one talking to you guys, and we're going to be doing more of it. We're going to be doing more of it. We're not going to let people bully us into not doing the podcast. We're not going to, I don't know. I took a week off from doing the podcast because I had other things going on, and then when I didn't do it, I wasn't able to air grievances and things like that. And then, people push you around. People, they bully you. And then you're like, oh, maybe I just won't do the podcast because so-and-so will take it this way or that way. And you know what? Not doing that. Not doing that either. Because the other thing that comes with that is letting, I don't know. It's one of those things. It bothers you. It irks you. It gets you flustered, especially when people are accusing you of things behind the scenes. Like they tell something to somebody and they tell you, and these are different stressors that are going to affect you as well. I mean, if you have people that you're friends with or people that you work with or whatever, and they come to you and say, hey, you know, so and so is saying this about you, and it's like, this is why this is happening, and this is why that, you know, and letting other people's rumors like kind of spread around, and you just, at the end of the day, you just have to shrug and be like, you know what, I don't know what that person's talking about. If you have a concern of what I'm doing or what I'm thinking or what's going on in my world, you're gonna just look at Kevin's YouTube channel, because this is the place where I put all my stuff. Like, I don't have other outlets. This is it. So like, that's, hopefully that goes to address a bunch of naysayers in the crowd. But regardless, we hope to have some guests on the show. We got a good lineup coming up. We've got some local businesses that started. We've got we're going to get our weekly small business ads going again to promote local businesses, as much as government actors from the feds to the state to the local governments are trying to cripple them and crush them. We are small businesses, and small businesses will survive. We're the salt of the earth, people. We are the salt of the earth. So, and having a strong identity, right? This is going to allow you to help better root yourself, living, as a friend of mine says, more righteously. And yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff coming on. So we'll, with that, guys, we're going to let you go, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow, maybe, on Life22.